Oh my god.
Hello, boys and girls, take me to your
Oh,
farts.
fuck.
This movie gave me Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. It gave me a lot of things. None of them, well, one of them good. The rest all abysmal.
Okay.
This movie's fucking horrible.
It's too long.
This
movie was
and
a
also
bad
there's nothing
idea.
good about it except for Munchlax. Like, it's
Yeah.
oh my god. Okay, hi, welcome to Digi and May's Pokemon journey. Destiny Deoxys. We were so wrong. I especially was so wrong.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I'm feeling some type of way. You know, the Jirachi movie, we both remembered being shit.
We knew it was bad.
Even when we were kids, we thought it was bad. So going into it as adults, we were like, this is going to be a nightmare.
Expecting it to be bad. We were clenching our assholes.
Yes.
Tight.
We were thoroughly clenched.
Tight.
This movie, for some reason, and I'm pretty sure I saw this on TV as a kid.
Yeah, they played it on Cartoon Network all the time.
Yeah, and this was past the point where I wasn't like a huge Pokemon guy anymore, but I'm pretty sure... Because the moments from this movie that I could remember were all the moments that I still liked in the movie, which make up about maybe 4 minutes of the, like 100-minute film.
It's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. It's a 100 fucking minute Pokemon movie, of which about 4 minutes are the part I remembered, which are great. And the rest of it is a ceaseless nightmare that I had no recollection of. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure I'd only seen, like, I don't know. I hadn't seen the whole thing. I think I was probably playing Game Boy Advance while watching this movie as a kid.
I mean, you'd have to expect that you're doing something else.
Oh, boy, we should have been doing... Like, we should have got out our... fucking Game Boys.
We could have.
We didn't think about it. I thought my mind instead went to let's watch Take Two in the middle of the movie, which we did, and Assassin's Nigga, the classic YouTube video series.
Yes. And we didn't miss a thing.
No.
While our eyes were averted from the screen.
That was during the climax of the film that I did that, and 20 minutes later, the film was still going. This movie is endless. It literally starts the climax at, like, the hour mark.
Yeah.
There's, like, 40 minutes of climax in this movie. It's fucking insanity. This movie... This is, like, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, first of all. I don't know if this is or isn't worse than Jirachi Wishmaker, because, on the one hand... I can't say it's as boring as that movie.
Boy.
But
that movie felt like Jirachi just felt like this endless fantasy that you just did not want to be in.
Yeah.
But it was still like a fantasy. This is like an endless sci-fi that you don't want to be in.
Jirachi to me was just a boring movie,
I feel like
but it was comprehensible. Like, this movie is just not even comprehensible.
No.
That's what makes this one, like, that's why I can't decide which one's worse. This one has more exciting stuff in it. Like, Jirachi is like, you're just fucking sitting around for, like, ever, you know? And it's like characters sitting around talking about Jirachi.
I'd say this movie is better just because it has Munchlax in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we watched. That's why I didn't stop the movie about halfway through and go, fuck this. Because, oh my god, this movie is... I can't get those 2 hours back.
No. No, you never will.
No. And, like, there were parts where we had fun, like, screaming over it, especially at the end.
Yeah.
But there's a long part of the midsection where it was just, like, I can't, like, even process this movie. Like, I can't pay enough attention to it to have something funny to say about it.
It's so boring and so slow, and they just repeat things that you've seen already, and it's a lot.
Oh, boy. So, okay.
But let's start from the start.
Yeah, and there's no Pikachu
There
movie
is
this
no
time.
Pikachu short, which is really sad.
Yeah. First of all, we're still in the Pokemon Xerox era to the max.
The next movie will also be. I think the next movie is the one where Ash like dresses up like Poseidon and has like Manaphy in it and stuff.
Yeah, the one where he transforms into Poseidon and he fucking has superpowers.
Yeah.
which I remember looking great, but then I haven't seen it in 10 years.
Dude,
so
I've never seen it, but that sounds like shit.
I remembered this movie looking good and being good. But I haven't seen this movie in probably 13
Neither of those
years.
things held up.
No, this movie is fucking abysmal looking. It's probably the ugliest one yet.
Oh, yeah, I would say so. This looks worse than the TV show.
Yeah.
This looks significantly worse than the TV show. Like, if you look at how the characters move, they all, like, clip in this weird-ass CG, and it looks terrible. Like...
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. The CG, oh, fuck. It's like, because half the movie...
Half the movie is CG.
Yeah, and like, it's still hand-drawn on cells. Like, okay, we talk a lot in anime fandom, these days about how bad CG integration looks. But at least in modern anime, it can only look so bad because the animation, while it is done by hand, it passes through a computer on its way to being made. Like when you watch most anime, it's been digitally redrawn, you know? This movie is still cell animation. Like visibly you can tell it's still cell animation with like rampant CG over it. Yes. And it's so fucking weird. Like, it is hideous. There's scenes where, like, it literally feels like the CG is coming out to the screen, like in a 3D movie, just because it doesn't match the cells at all.
No.
You know? It's, like, clearly superimposed onto a cell drawing, and it looks fucking weird.
When the movie opened, it had like really weird crowds of Pokemon that were all in CG.
Yeah.
And they were all like...
Oh, I forgot about that opening sequence.
You forgot? Oh no.
Oh no. The very start of this movie does the whole like the world of Pokemon, but it's like a new one. And like, how do I even explain it? That little part is worth watching just for like how fucking weird it is.
Yeah.
Because it is something that could only have happened in 2004.
It is the weirdest interpretation of the world of Pokemon. Like, it just has a bunch of crowds of CG Pokemon running towards the screen. It has, like, these really terrible Rhydons that look like...
fucking... Rhyhorns. Rhyhorns. They're 3D model Rhyhorns.
God, they look like garbage.
Like, it would keep cutting between normal animated Pokemon and then 3D models, all of them in a 3D environment, but then, like, sometimes you'd be seeing 3D on 2D, sometimes 2D on 3D, sometimes both at the same time.
It was a clusterfuck.
It's a total visual clusterfuck. And the 3D looks like Pokemon Snap, like...
Yeah, it does. It doesn't... It looks like a video game. Like, it looks like a bad video game.
Like an old video game, you know? Like... God. Ew, fuck,
And then they start showing, like, scenes from the movies, but they decide to start from the fucking Celebi movie. They don't include the 3 good movies.
It's like, yeah, they show scenes from Celebi.
They show the worst scenes from the Celebi.
Latias and the other one.
They literally show Suicune, like, the horrible like, why? That, like, are they proud of that?
We specifically complained about how bad it looks.
It's so bad. Like...
Oh, fuck.
No.
Yeah, so there's that. That's like 3-minute opening sequence, which when we watched that, I actually got excited because I was this is really bad, but it's like hilarious. Yeah. Like that was so much fun to watch. Like just how like maddeningly insane that looked. Again, only could have happened in 2004.
Yeah. You got really hyped. You're like, oh, I bet this is we're in it for a treat.
What other era would you see like extensive CG on cell animation? Like, this is such a beautiful time capsule. But so right from that, this suddenly becomes a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
The intro scene, like, after that little 3-minute bit, the actual, like, cold open of the film feels exactly like the opening of a Transformers movie. I think
this might just be the opening of the Transformers movie.
It's, like, pretty much the same. There's, like, a bunch of researchers in the Arctic, and they're like, examining the whole evolutionary line of Spheal.
I don't remember their names.
By the way, we watched this one in Japanese just because we couldn't find the dub.
Yep.
Online.
And at this point, it's not worth it because the voice actors are disappearing,
anyways,
and it's not the same. Like, there's no nostalgia in watching.
On the one hand, on the one hand, the Pokemon not having the names that we know is a little weird,
Yeah,
but on the other hand, all the voice acting's good, so...
The only Pokemon that had lines was, like, Plusle, Munchlax, and, like, Rayquaza.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think having Japanese names, like, affected the movie at all.
Not that much. And, like, the Spheal, whatever its Japanese name was, it was fucking adorable.
Oh, yeah. The Spheals are really cute.
So, okay, all the good moments in this film are just when a Pokemon is being adorable.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only moments in the film that work. And we've got one at the beginning where Spheal's being adorable, and then there's, like, this massive amount of CG evolutions of Spheals or whatever. For some reason, like, what Pokemon... Like, what they decided to do in these new films, like, what they think that CG has allowed them to do is to just put in as many Pokemon
Oh, yeah, just
as
put
possible.
in a fuck ton of Pokemon, but there's no...
Yeah.
First of all, it doesn't make sense for there to be that many of that Pokemon.
No.
And anywhere.
No.
Like, there was too many Pokemon for the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make sense. It looked ridiculous. The scene went on for too long because they kept having to, like they could have just had, like, 10 of them.
Yeah.
Like, 10, but they had to have, like, 500.
Yeah. Didn't something like this... I don't know. I feel like I've seen another thing that did this, but, like, yeah, it really seems like... I mean, that intro segment especially was, like, insanity. They tried to put, like, literally hundreds of Pokemon on the screen.
And
but,
it was
like, they're all
just
clones.
wasting time because it was the same, like... It was a
Pokemon,
loop.
yeah.
It was a loop of the same crowd of the fucking Spheal guy.
Yeah.
Just coming at you, and that's a waste of time. Like, you're not, like...
So,
the amount of that Pokemon is irrelevant. Like, we're not going to count how many there are.
Yeah.
They don't come up later in the show. They're just wasting our time by showing us 10 seconds of a looping animation.
just thinking about this movie is, like, really hurting my fucking brain. Like, it hurts to think about.
Yeah.
So, Deoxys... Okay, a comet... Like... There's, like, a comet coming down from the sky.
It's Transformers.
And, like, Rayquaza goes to intercept it.
Yeah.
Rayquaza, who is just there. Like, that was the first thing that blew my mind. It's like, we've got... Okay, it's not even established that this is, like, researchers or anything. It's just implied. Like, we see a father and mother and their kid. They're in the Arctic, and they're looking at Spheal evolutions. And there's a bunch of other people in uniforms, so you kind of put two and two together and think, like, okay, this is, like, researchers in the Arctic. And then there's, like, a comet coming down, and then we just cut to Rayquaza, like, in the atmosphere, like, flying around, like getting mad at this comet, like, I don't know, like, he's mad that it's in his space, and then, like, there's no reason to think that that's not just cutting away to another scene until the family are looking up at it, like, oh, it's Rayquaza, and it's like, oh, is this happening here? Like,
yeah.
Is that what's going on? It's like Rayquaza, like, is what they're doing related to Rayquaza in some way?
Nothing about Rayquaza is explained in this film.
No, he's
like,
just fucking
Rayquaza
there.
is just there, and you have to accept it.
It's assumed that he's like a guardian. I don't even know what because all they say is like, oh, he was pissed because they were in his territory. Like, what? Like, what is his territory?
Why is the Arctic his territory?
I think he's like, because I know the lore of him is that he like protects the atmosphere, right? Or something like that.
Dude, I don't... Probably.
I think he, like, lives in just the atmosphere of the planet or something, and he's, like, supposed to intercept invading aliens, and that's his thing, but they don't explain that in the movie.
No, he's just there.
So the Deoxys, like, I guess there was two, but one of them's, like, a rock, and the other one's a Deoxys, and it fights Rayquaza, and then there's just, like, and this is indicative of what the whole film's gonna be, there's just, like, 5 straight minutes of Deoxys and Rayquaza fighting. Like, with... Just for we don't know why.
No, we don't know why. We don't even know who's winning.
No.
It's, like, very repetitive fighting, because they're just slamming into each other.
It's just, you'll see one of them shoot a beam at the other one, and it hits him, and he knocks into the ice, and then the other one shoots back, and he knocks him into the ice.
No, this is not a Pokemon battle with, like, strategy. This is just, chaos.
Yeah, it's just two big Pokemon monsters, big pocket monsters that don't fit in your pocket at all.
Yeah.
Fighting over
two pocket monsters that aren't like traditional pocket monsters.
No.
You know, one is a fucking alien. How is an alien a Pokemon? Isn't it just an alien?
And the other one's a Chinese
But it's still a
myth
Pokemon,
dragon.
and we have to accept the fact that aliens are Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. So it's they're fighting.
So they're fighting.
And everybody's just kind of looking at it. Like, all the researchers are just kind of like, oh, and like the Spheals are freaking out. So a little kid who almost gets Lion King'd by the seals. He almost gets Mufasa'd by the seals. He
just blacks out, though.
He apparently becomes afraid of Pokemon. That'll be important later. But, like, otherwise, the scene is just, like, it's gruelingly long of Pokemon just fighting. And we were like, oh my god. Like, this is, like, the fucking beginning of a Transformers movie again. Like, it's just a senseless action scene. A bunch of shit blows up.
This whole movie is, like, to set up this character that we don't give a shit about because he's a pussy bitch.
The kid who's afraid of Pokemon. Even though he's... No one cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. So we cut from that scene to Ash and friends coming to this technological city. Yes. Which is not really
it's not explained. Like, the thing about Pokemon movies is they always have, like, really cool settings, and
not like this one has, like, an attempted cool setting, but it's not delivered on.
No, it's never explained, like, why it's a future city, and all the things that make it futuristic, like, are dumb and, like, gimmicky.
Well, that was the weird thing. It's a future city, but none of it's actually futuristic. No. It's all shit we have right now, except for the stupid cubes.
I mean, it's kind of like Tomorrowland at Disney World. Like, you have a monorail, you travel around in a monorail.
But Tomorrowland probably was, like, impressive when it came out.
No, I mean, like, the Futureland or whatever. You ever been to Disney World? There's, like, one, like... part of the park, like in Magic Kingdom, that is like Futureland.
I know, but I'm saying that, like, that was built a long time ago, and it's supposed to be, like, futuristic. So, like, riding a monorail is probably a new concept when that was made. In this movie, all the futuristic shit is old as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you got
the airport thing where you stand on it and it's like an escalator.
Yeah, the little sliding walkways.
Just on the ground.
But, yeah,
and
literally
Ash is,
airports
like, baffled by that. Like, Ash is completely,
This movie came out in 2004. That shit existed, for sure.
I don't understand, like, why Ash couldn't just, like, understand that you could just stand still. Like, what was he trying to do?
No, he was trying to get back to his friends.
But
because he had accidentally stepped on the thing and he was going the wrong direction.
Why wouldn't he just try to go on the other direction?
He's fucking stupid.
There's no way he's that stupid.
Who knows?
Dude.
The other technology is that there's a trash can that if you, like, wave your hand in front of it, it'll lift its lid.
Okay, I don't understand how this is energy efficient. Like...
No, not only not energy efficient.
It's not a trash can. It's a recycling bin. It's only plastic bottles that go in there. So recycling is meant to, like, recycle energy and, like, renew waste.
Yeah.
But, like, to put the bottle in the recycling bin, it has to use energy to lift the top up.
Yeah.
How is that efficient?
More so than the efficiency, my first thought...
How is that efficient or practical?
When I saw the guy wave his hand in front of the thing, my first thought was, oh, no one's going to use trash cans anymore. Like, trash cans exist to guilt people into not littering. Like, that's what trash cans are for. It's so that you won't just throw your thing on the ground. You'll see that there's a trash can, and you'll go, oh, I'll do the right thing and put it in the trash. But you only do that because it's convenient enough. You know, if you have to do, like, a whole rigmarole to open the trash can, people are just gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, and toss their shit.
Yeah.
You know? It's not, like, it's literally less convenient than a trash can.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would that be the future?
I don't know.
That's not the future.
We later see...
The future is just a trash can.
We later see, like, this really weird vending machine for, like, hamburgers.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking weird-looking vending machine.
With legs.
There was nothing special about it.
Yeah.
It was just a fucking vending machine.
Well,
like, what was so futuristic about that?
Nothing was, like... It was dumb. It was dumb.
Man. And then there's the cubes, which I don't actually know what they do.
They're, like, the city's monitors. Like, when Ash and Co. get to the city, they, like, analyze them, and they're like, oh, yeah, here's some passports.
Okay.
Remember that? They're just, like, our guardians. I don't know.
So there's...
They're
basically,
like a police.
There's, like, these cubes that can, like, form together, you know, and, like, make structures out of the cubes. The only time we see them doing what I assume they're for is when they build this enormous bridge all the way from the city to the land. Like, hundreds of thousands of cubes.
Why is there so many cubes?
There are, like, millions of these flying techno cubes. They're just these green cubes that fly around. I highly recommend, if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, you might want to have Google Images open for this and, like, be looking up data about this movie, because I can't imagine it's going to make much sense without knowing what the cubes are. But, like, one of them's got a face. It's like the main cube, and like I guess it gives them passports when they come to the city.
I guess it's like kind of like a futuristic policing device, but like the technology behind it makes absolutely no sense. Nothing about it makes sense.
Ash and Co show up in a mall. There's like a mall.
They're in a mall.
What's futuristic about the mall?
Nothing.
Well, it's a mall.
It has the weird vending machines and cubes.
Reminds me of fucking Sword Art Online, the movie, actually, which also opens in like a futuristic mall, but like not really.
This movie makes me not want to see the future.
No.
Like, if the future is anything
it's a
like
shit
this,
future.
we should just
and
all die.
as our characters are walking around the mall, we've got all these pedestrians everywhere with the most jank walk cycles in the world.
They're broken.
Like, no one's walk cycle matches their perspective, so everybody looks like they're sliding on air. The movie's fucking hideous. There's so much off-model animation. Like, I can't believe this is a movie.
Me neither.
Like,
the TV show looks infinitely better than this. I don't understand.
I can't believe, like, I can't even think of that many anime movies that look this bad.
No.
Like, this might be one of the worst looking anime movies
is like, I could see like
the past 20
a parody.
years.
Like a parody somebody made on YouTube of shitty anime. Just like,
oh man.
Like, they had
Girl
to,
Chan
this
in
is
Paradise
bad.
is better looking.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
It's so fucking ugly. And then, like, so they've come to the city, but there's no particular reason given why. Like, they're just kind of there. And the film, unlike the other films, like, here's how a Pokemon movie is supposed to work. We intro with Ash and friends hanging out, doing something fun.
Yeah.
And then something introduces itself as, like, a point. You know? Like, oh, Ash, you've been invited by the greatest Pokemon trainer to come fight. Oh, Ash, you're the chosen one now that you've made it to this place because we have this festival going on.
Entei stole your mom.
Yeah, Ash, Entei stole your mom. Oh, Ash, fucking, you know, even the fucking Jirachi movie establishes from the beginning, like, you have this magic show, and then they're like, oh, you talk to Jirachi or whatever the fuck, like, here you go, have this thing. Like, they all establish a point.
Yeah.
This movie, they're just kind of wandering around the city, and then Ash and this kid, the silver-haired kid who is afraid of Pokemon, they just get, like, somehow wrapped up in, like, a battle dome, like a doubles battle dome.
Yeah.
And they have a doubles battle. The kid doesn't have any Pokemon. Ash, like, miserably fails trying to use 2 of his own Pokemon at once. It's just like a whole
Was this the
sequence.
only, like, legitimate Pokemon battle in the movie?
I would say so. Yeah.
That's really sad. We get Blastoise and Blaziken on one side, and then we get Pikachu and Torkoal.
Yeah.
Fucking Torkoal.
Yeah.
Does Ash not have anything better in his arsenal than Torkoal?
This is the worst thing about the fact that they keep, like, resetting Ash's Pokemon, is that when it comes time for the movies, like, it's like how with the third movie they had to bring back Charizard because all Ash had was fucking Gen 2 starters.
Yeah.
And, like, he didn't have anything that could fight a fucking Entei, so they had to have Charizard fly back in. And now we're at that point again where it's like, we're still in Gen 2, I think. We're in Gen 3, but Ash still doesn't have any shit, you know? He's got a fucking Torkoal and a Pikachu. Like, yeah, to fight
it's not like he ever
third
gets
stage
good
evolutions
Pokemon. Like, he gets a Sceptile at the very end of, like, Battle Frontier.
Oh, God.
But he doesn't get anything good. Like, all he has is Pikachu and...
Oh, man. So I don't remember what happens right after that fight. Another thing about this movie is that there's, like, a shitload of side characters for some reason.
Who don't do anything.
They're totally fucking worthless.
There's a fat guy who has a huge crush on May. There is...
he never does anything.
He never does anything.
All he does is crush on May the whole movie, never does anything.
There's the cool, edgy kid who has 2 sisters, and he's just like, oh, I'll beat you, Ash. He
beats Ash in the beginning, never does anything after that. He's got his 2 little lolly twin sisters who never do anything.
Don't do anything, completely worthless characters.
Yeah.
And there's this girl with a fucking...
laptop.
Macross. What Pokemon is that?
A Metagross.
Metagross. She has a Metagross. Metagross is, like, the only cool Pokemon in this movie, and it doesn't do anything.
No, it's just shown once. And she,
that's such a fucking waste of a Metagross.
Her thing is that, like, she films stuff and she's, like, doing research, but it never eventuates to anything.
No.
Like, the only, like, there's a scene where there's, like, an exposition dump, which she would have been the character for, but there's a different character, the kid's mom, the Afraid of Pokemon kid's mom, who does the exposition dump. None of the side characters do fucking anything. There's, like, 5 of them.
Why is there so many? And then when they have them all together, it's, like, a ridiculous amount of people on the screen.
Yeah, it looks fucking retarded.
It's so stupid.
Holy shit.
It looks so awkward. Like, there's no reason for any of this.
I don't remember what happens after the fucking Battle Dome. This is where we get introduced to Plusle and Minun. So, okay, there's one good thing about this movie, and it's so weird. It takes the movie into a totally different direction every time it comes up.
Yeah.
Which is that there's Plusle and Minun and Munchlax. And they all tend to show up together in, like, these scenes that are just the good scenes in the movie. Mm-hmm. And it's just them dicking around. And they're all fucking adorable. You got Plusle and Minun who are playing with trash cans, just, like, making the lids come up so they can jump up and down on them. And then you got Munchlax, who, after the Plusle and Minun knock over the trash cans, Munchlax comes and picks them up.
He's such a badass.
And picks up the litter. And he's just a good cool boy. He's just a real good boy. This movie is why I became such a huge Munchlax fan, because I loved his portrayal in this film. As, like, he's a good guy, but he also doesn't give a fuck and, like, does what he wants.
He eats all your food, but he'll pick up afterwards.
So there's a scene, like, the kid who's afraid of Pokemon, like, saves the Minun from a trash can at one point.
And then they try to hug him, and then he has a fucking meltdown.
He's afraid. He's triggered. And then, like...
Doesn't he, like, go hide after that? Like, doesn't he go into the garden and talk to the weird, like...
Oh, yeah, he goes to talk to his Deoxys, like, which is portrayed as just, like, a concept or something. Like, it's a weird, like, CG...
It's like a CG diamond ghost.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I have no idea how else to describe it other than that. A CG diamond ghost. This movie's fucking weird, man. This movie's fucking strange. This kid's been hanging out.
The weirdest thing is he has his hands out like he's holding, like...
Yeah, and he's not even touching it, because it's not corporeal. Like, it's a fucking, like...
It's an artifact!
Yeah.
Like, you can't touch...
It's like a hologram.
God. It's so weird.
So this kid's just, like,
what
playing...
is the point of this?
And, like, it can't communicate with him other than to just turn into weird shapes. So, like, he basically talks to this thing, and then it, like, turns into, like, a metaphor, and then he fucking, like, says, I love you so much. They've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
It's like his only friend.
This is his best friend.
What the fuck is up with this movie? God damn, what were they fucking thinking? What the fuck were they thinking with this fucking movie?
This is what happens when nobody can say no.
Yeah, well, that's we were saying, you've got this class project that you've been doing.
Yeah, we have the whole semester, and we're supposed to make a 5-minute short film. Uh-huh. And we are supposed to have the scripts done by next week. But as soon as we get assigned into a group, one kid is really gung-ho about a Filthy Frank universe fan film.
Yeah.
So, like, it's our second day of class, and he, like, already has the script done. And he's like, guys, I'll do everything. And, like, I'm over here just like, wow. I can appreciate the level of memeage.
Yeah.
The level of cojones this guy has. Like, I am in for this train wreck. It's gonna be bad, but I'm in for it.
And nobody...
nobody else wants to come up with a story. Nobody wants to write a script.
So there has to be a film. Like, no matter what, in your class, you guys have to make a film. So someone has to have a script.
Yeah.
This guy's got a script. Yeah. Nobody else wants to make a script. You just gotta make this guy's really fucking stupid Filthy Frank fan film.
That's what happened to this movie.
That is what this movie is.
Nobody had an idea for the Pokemon movie except for that one weird guy.
There has to be a Pokemon movie every year. There has to be. So they all sat around going, fuck guys, what are we gonna do? Our legendary, like, okay, at this point, like, a Pokemon movie just means legendaries.
Yeah, they
right?
gotta have Rayquaza in it because Pokemon Emerald's coming out.
Yeah, so, okay,
Rayquaza's the big guy.
Rayquaza and Deoxys. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with these two? Deoxys is an alien, Rayquaza is the guardian of Earth, so there's the obvious reason for them to fight. We'll build a future city. There's gonna be a Munchlax. We'll have like 8 other characters who can just take up time. Oh, and by the way, it's gonna be fucking 100 minutes long. Why is it so fucking long?
Because nobody wants to tell this guy no. Nobody.
Okay. the other Pokemon movies were typically like 70 minutes to 80 minutes.
Yeah, except for the Jirachi movie was
they're
long, too.
exceptionally short movies that were tight and to the point, and like I don't get why you would make it longer. Like, that's just more work.
No, right?
Just cut it down. Like, kids don't want it to be super fucking long. I don't want it to be super fucking long. It's gonna be a worse movie if it's super fucking long, and it's gonna take longer to make. Just cut, like, 30 minutes of the film out. Why would you not do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck were they thinking?
No.
Oh, fuck, man. Like, they could have made a 45-minute film and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Fucking Makoto Shinkai puts out 45-minute films and it gets 10 out of 10 scores and shit. Like, what the hell, man? Oh, God, this movie's so fucking bad. I can't remember, like, exactly what happens after the Battle Dome, but, like, at some point, we end up in a scene where, like, all the trainers are in one place.
The city shuts down because Deoxys is spotted.
That's way later. I'm talking about...
What?
I'm talking about when all of them hang out. Like, all the trainers just hang out with the Pokemon.
They just hang out like, on the playground, and they have, like, some weird,
like,
shitty, unrelated pop song.
Yeah, there's, like, a whole scene of just everybody gets out their Pokemon, and it plays some pop music, and they all hang out.
Dude, the song is garbage, by the way.
Like, it feels like it's supposed to be this is how normally a Pikachu film opens. It's like a pop song and all the Pokemon hanging out. But not only is the Pokemon hanging out scene totally boring,
it's really boring.
And the song is boring, and like it just has nothing to do with the movie. But then, after this lengthy sequence, this minutes-long sequence of characters just hanging out with their Pokemon, by the way, at night, which is weird.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird,
and,
too. Like, why are they just outside on a playground at night with, like, a fucking weird pop song?
Why would they not set this during the day?
What is going on? Why does this have to be done at night?
So then they right after that, the next scene, the kid is, like, introducing them to his Deoxys thing. And they all show up at the place, and they're like, whoa, cool, let's let all our Pokemon see it too. And then they get out all their Pokemon again.
Yeah.
For literally no reason. They just get out all their Pokemon just so they can all be there.
Because they didn't have enough Pokemon in the movie yet.
Oh my god.
There's like a quota. God. You gotta have so many Pokemon airtime.
What the fuck were they fucking thinking with this movie?
Oh my god.
I don't understand.
We're not even halfway through the movie.
No. I don't remember what happens between that and the city getting shut down.
They awaken Deoxys from the machine or something. Or Deoxys...
Is that what was going on?
So there's like a Deoxys that's on the loose. The bad Deoxys, purple Deoxys.
This is around the point where we started, like, getting out our phones, and, like, I was too busy, like, trying to remember the voice actors' names of fucking...
of Jesse and James, who are just in the movie for, like, a minute and then just never appear.
They literally just disappear from the film.
Fuck off.
They're not even in the ending.
No.
Like, normally they show up again at the end just to clarify what happened to them. That doesn't even happen in this movie. They literally are, like, they show up for maybe 20 seconds in the whole film.
What's up with that?
They crash their Magikarp and end up at the place. And then there's a scene where they notice the guy, like, ordering a or ordering a burger from the machine. And they want to get passports, but they don't have them. And then they're helping to, like, power the windmills at the end. And that's it.
I remember when Team Rocket, like, had interesting things to say. Like, they brought a different perspective and kind of, like, humanized what was going on, like, in the first couple of movies. And now they just decided to cut those characters out completely because the side characters they just created specifically for this movie, who are ugly and weird and do nothing, are more important and should be on screen.
I mean, where would Team Rocket fit in a movie with 90 characters?
Yeah.
Oh,
they just
God.
gotta, you know, nobody will notice if we just don't have Jesse and James in the movie.
So I guess at some point, they're, like, doing an experiment on the rock Deoxys or something, and this makes the other Deoxys come to the city? Is that what happened? I don't know. The Deoxys is just kind of built up. Like, we keep cutting away to scenes of Deoxys doing something in the city, and I don't know what. There's, like, one sequence where he's, like, flying around for a minute, like, just doing things, and I was like, what was that after the scene was over? Like, what just happened?
Yeah, like, why was he just in the town? Like, he wasn't even...
He's just, like, doing shit. I don't even know.
And then it just, like, takes all the people in Pokemon. Do you remember that?
Yeah, so what happens is, like, the city all the power shuts down or something, and then, like, all the blocks, like, this huge amount of cubes form a giant bridge out of the city, and the city's evacuated. And everybody's evacuating the city, and anybody who doesn't evacuate, like, all the Pokemon and people who are around, like, Deoxys spawns like 1,000 clones of itself, and they all fly around and just, like, grab everybody and take them away.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And then...
Because they get in the way of its electromagnetic force fields. It's trying to find its friend, and all the life forms are kind of, like, disrupting it.
Okay.
That's what they said.
That's fucking stupid.
That is retarded.
That is fucking stupid.
Straight dumb.
So they carry... Basically, everybody except for the main characters are carried off, and the main characters and their posse. And they're all in, like, this shelter where they're getting exposition dumped at.
Yeah, by the mom.
And meanwhile, like, Plusle and Minun and Munchlax will just show up and be totally delightful at random.
Yeah.
There's, like, a scene where Munchlax eats everybody's food and jumps, like, 80 feet in the air for some reason, and it's fucking dope. There's a scene where he, like, offers them a sandwich, but they're, like, grossed out because it was, like, stuck to his fur.
There's a scene
so he
where
just
he eats
it.
hot dogs.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he eats more hot dogs.
Yeah, he's awesome. Everything he does is perfect. And Plusle and Minun are good. They're good boys. But yeah, everybody's just in this shelter for literally forever. Like, they're just in there forever. And Ash and the kid who's afraid of Pokemon are, like, out doing things.
Brock's there, too. Don't forget about.
And Brock. I don't know what they're doing. Like, what are they trying to accomplish?
Because everybody's hungry and they have no food.
Is that what they were doing?
That's why they went to the hot dog machine.
And then they just get swept up in the action.
Yeah, because Deoxys tries to take the hot dog machine.
And then what are they doing after that? Like, just getting, like, are they trying to get back? Or, like...
I don't know.
Like, they're just kind of out in the city.
They're just, like...
And then...
I don't know what they're trying to do, because, like, they can't do anything.
Like, this happens all night, and then the next day, they all leave the shelter to go try to power windmills. Like, they're trying to bring enough power to the city that they can finish the operation on the Deoxys rock, I guess?
I didn't get that, but okay,
I'm literally putting this together in my head right now. Like, I'm putting together the dots. I'm connecting the dots, rather.
I suppose that makes sense.
So they're operating these windmills with their Pokemon, like using all their attacks on the windmills. This is the last we see of most of these side characters until the end of the film.
Oh
like,
my God.
They are all just doing this windmill thing in the background for like 30 minutes of the movie.
I can't get this stupid pop song out of my head.
I can't even remember it. Oh yeah. It sounds too much like a different song, and it's making it so I can't get it stuck in my
garbage.
head. So these guys are operating the windmills, and then, like, at this point, Rayquaza has shown up, and Deoxys and Rayquaza literally fight for half an hour.
I'd say closer to 40 minutes. They are going at
They
it.
fight for a clean fucking half hour.
It's terrible.
And we keep cutting back to it.
The fighting's not interesting at all because they're just slamming into each other.
Yeah. Again, just like in the ice place, just throwing each other around.
It's not like it's a big city, so it's not the appeal of, like, the city being destroyed.
No.
There's, like, no people there. There's no stakes. It's just, like, them slamming into each other.
Yeah.
We've already seen this.
It doesn't look cool. Like,
No,
it's not like a
doesn't.
Godzilla movie where you've got, like, the scale of, like, these hefty monsters throwing each other around, and you're like, oh, yeah. No, it's just two Pokemon flying around shooting beams at each other. Two Pokemon who you don't care about at all.
No.
Like... Rayquaza, here's Rayquaza's motivation. He's mad. And here's Deoxys' motivation. He's mad.
Yeah.
They're both just mad. And they're just fighting. For no fucking reason. So that's just going on forever.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they supply enough electricity to the other rock to resurrect the other Deoxys. Because I guess that's what was going on. He had to be resurrected from the rock.
How did you follow any of this?
I'm literally just, like, realizing it. Because I remembered seeing the windmills, and I remembered that Pikachu and Plus and Minun had to shock the rock. I don't remember the windmills
at all.
You don't remember that the water was shooting the windmills? Like, they had everybody hydro pumping the windmill?
Nope. Don't remember
I just remembered it because that was one of the few things I'd remembered from when I was a kid.
Okay.
Was because the hydro pumping of animation looked really good.
Alright.
Because the effects animation is always good in Pokemon. Because that's the thing. There are moments in this film that look okay, and those are the ones I remembered. So, like, in my memory, this was a great-looking movie. But, like, watching it now, it's like those scenes look good, and everything else looks like fucking dog shit. So it's really fucking weird to go back and revisit it and realize that. So they resurrect the other Deoxys. And then it's like a fucking painstaking ordeal. First we're showing more Rayquaza and Deoxys fighting, then the other Deoxys comes out, and then there's like this long scene of the two Deoxyses reuniting. I don't give a single fuck. I don't care about these characters, but it's like a whole thing of them like showing each other their Aurora Borealises, and then they're like, oh, we're friends, but then they continue fighting Rayquaza for a little bit, and then the town's security system goes wrong. Yeah. And the cubes...
There's just so many cubes. They go haywire.
Millions of cubes just start flooding the streets of the city.
Where are they coming from? Where were they stored?
Where were they?
What are they being powered by?
There's just literally millions of cubes. Like, they were just trying to see how many cubes they could show.
Was being defeated by the cubes. There were so many cubes.
Yeah, so the cubes go flooding through the town, and they catch the hot dog machine and Munchlax in the current. And then, like, Rayquaza, who's fighting the Deoxys, just gets fucking owned by a wave of cubes. And this is where the movie got funny again.
Yeah.
Like, that moment was where the movie suddenly became, like, hilarious once more, as opposed to just fucking boring. Because we're watching three legendary Pokemon, like, barely able to fend themselves against cubes. An army of cubes. An endless wave of fucking generic cubes. And then this scene goes on forever. Like, where you look like you're dead. Like, you don't... Like, you're struggling to even remember what we are doing or just watched.
Where am I?
You look like you forgot we were even here, which I don't blame you for at all.
Oh, boy. What's happened these past 6 months? I don't know where I am. Who are you?
I'm just a crazy man who talks about Pokemon.
Oh, God. What have I done?
Oh, God. Explain to me where were the cubes?
We were talking about the cubes.
Talk about the cubes.
We were talking about the cubes swallowing up Rayquaza. We were talking about the cubes swallowing up Munchlax. We were talking about the cubes swallowing up Ash. We were talking about the cubes swallowing up that guy's cute sisters. We were talking about the cubes.
That doesn't happen. They don't swallow his cute sisters.
Dude, I was really just wishing that Deoxys would just, finger bang May.
Yeah.
Just the whole
finger
entire
bang
movie.
Is the choice of words you want to use?
It's more like arm bang.
It's the tentacles. You want him to tentacle fuck her.
Well, duh.
You don't want him to finger bang her.
I'm just trying to make it sound better.
It doesn't sound better. It sounds weird.
So, no, okay. Can we just get this on the record? Finger banging is weird, but tentacle banging, that's normal.
Because Deoxys has tentacles, so to think of him finger banging is weird.
I'm just trying to, it's like a vanilla appeal, so other people will
really,
want, it's
more to finger banging.
If I just come out and say I want to see Deoxys, an obscure Pokemon character from Gen 3, to tentacle rape a character from the Pokemon franchise, that's weird. But if I want to say this alien is a finger banging this girl,
no less weird. No less weird.
No. That's totally normal.
Okay, my fucking head is like throbbing.
We took
ibuprofen and I still have a headache. I'm gonna take another one right now, actually, because I'm fucking dying. Oh my God. You're hearing live medical over-the-counter drug use. Oh, God.
Your video's gonna get demonetized.
Ugh.
You're taking drugs.
It tastes a lot worse when you don't have a drink to wash it down. Oh fuck. This fucking okay.
No.
Because the thing is, after the Deoxys reunite, it felt like that's the ending of the film.
Yeah.
That is the climax.
That be the end?
That is the emotional climax. Everybody's got what they want. Everyone can go home. Then the whole city goes haywire for no reason, and there's like another 10 minutes of now it's endless cubes everywhere. There's a scene of Ash jumping across the cubes, which is 2D animation on 3D backgrounds. Oh boy, that shit looked terrible.
It looked pretty bad.
There's just so much shit going on, and the only saving grace of the ending of the movie is that Munchlax comes out of the hot dog machine, eating hot dogs, and then as soon as he falls into the cubes, he evolves into Snorlax so that he can be a buoy.
Hot dogs evolved him.
Yes.
That's how evolution happens.
Yes, it's fucking
all
beautiful.
from hot dogs.
Munchlax evolves to Snorlax just so he can ride on the cubes. He evolved to match the situation, and then Ash uses him as a springboard so he can climb the towers and save the day. So Munchlax saved the day by evolving into Snorlax, and then he passes out and sinks into the cubes, and later we see him just sleeping on a pile of cubes. Munchlax and Snorlax is the only thing that's good in this movie.
Oh boy. I wish I could have been like Jesse and James and just...
I just remembered the funniest moment in the whole film, where the cubes are flooding the streets, and the kids... So, okay, the kid who's afraid of Pokemon, his parents, like, run the city, I think.
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah, he's
Is
like
that
the
safe
lead...
to say?
His dad was like on the big screen.
Yeah, well,
He's
they're
like
like the
some
lead,
kind of important
they're like
guy.
the lead scientists or something who run the city.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I don't know what
king
this
and queen
field
of
research they were doing at the
science.
beginning had to do with anything.
You have to research the parameter of the anal sphere, the sphincter of the sphere,
Yes.
so they can get some research data.
Excellent,
So
thank
they can
you.
power the cubes.
Yes, this is definitely
The cubes are powered by
deep lore.
spheal anus.
So
That's why there's so many of them.
At this scene, the kid's dad is on the big screen. Yes.
Why is there so many
You remember?
spheals?
I don't know. You remember the scene I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I know.
The dad's up on the screen talking to the kid.
Yeah.
And then he's dumping all this exposition and telling them what they need to do. And then just a line of cubes, like a whole bunch of cubes, just shoots out of the cube wave and crashes into the screen, shutting him up.
Oh my God.
For good. And it was the
Justice.
funniest shit in the world. And then the cubes are just like busting into all these towers. What are they trying to do? Like, what were the cubes trying to do?
Who knows?
They're just fucking up everything.
Yeah.
There's just cubes fucking everywhere. And then eventually Ash gets to like the central cube and he just kind of like shows it his passport and that makes it work or something. And all the cubes shut down. And the kid, and there's like lots of incessant fucking flying, of course. Like Deoxys makes it so everybody can fly. He flies Ash and Pikachu fly like they do in every fucking movie. I know.
Everybody can fly.
I know you had a complaint about this flying scene.
Oh yeah. There's the kid who's afraid of Pokemon. He's holding the two Plusle and Minun, and Ash and Pikachu are able to fly because Deoxys has given them the power to fly. But the other Deoxys is just like fucking groping and holding on
to these kids.
To
the
this
kid
kid and the Plusle and Minun.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why didn't he just make them fly? That was your complaint. Yeah.
Why? Why did Ash have to fly in the first place? Why is Ash flying?
Yeah, why not just carry Ash too? Because Ash has to fly.
Why does Ash have to fly? He already flew. He
He did already flew in the movie. There was, like, in the first time it happened is, like, when they resurrect Deoxys and then he makes them fly around, which is what has happened in every Pokemon movie after they've resurrected a Pokemon. It's like, oh, we resurrected Celebi, now we all fly. Oh, we're friends with Latios and Latios, oh, now I can mentally fly.
I don't think in the Entei movie anybody flied.
Ash flies on Charizard at one point, doesn't he?
Oh shit! I guess if that extends to flying, you're right.
He flies on Flygon in the 6th movie.
Fly.
He flies.
He isn't telepathically floating.
In the first movie, I don't know if
Mewtwo was making him fly. In the first
Mewtwo
movie.
like just throws him though.
No, Mewtwo makes him fly.
Does he fly, like in a good way at any point?
I think so.
I don't remember.
In the second movie, they fly.
He usually flies. He flies on Lugia in the second movie. He usually flies in some capacity. Later on, in another movie, I think the next one, he becomes Poseidon and flies that way. But in this movie, there's a scene of him being made to fly, and then another scene of him being made to fly, so that you know that there's a happy ending. And then I think that's it. Like, that's all that's the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, it pretty much is the end.
The town gets restored. All the dumbass side characters go back to whatever they were doing. Oh, man, I'm so glad I took that ibuprofen. Like, that really fucking helped.
That fixed you?
Yeah. Like, my head felt like it was about to fucking explode, and now I just feel peace.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Do you have anything left to say about Pokemon Destiny Deoxys?
I do not have high hopes about finishing all of the movies.
Yeah, what do you think about the continuation of this series? Like, I'm honestly... There was a moment early into this film where I was like, oh, Pokemon Journey's not gonna last forever.
Oh, no.
Like, because this movie was so much worse than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone kept telling us, like, after, like, the 5th movie, there's no good ones anymore. And I was like, I kept saying to people, nuh-uh, because I've seen Destiny Deoxys, I know that one's good. And what about the one where Ash turns into Poseidon? I know that one's... But I've only seen, like, the ending of that movie. Like, all I've seen is the Poseidon scene.
I don't know. Like, I definitely can't see myself watching all of them.
This movie was barely comprehensible.
No.
Like, it would be one thing if it was, like, just, I don't know, kind of bad. Like, just kind of, like, not great. But this is, like, really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, this movie was, like, a total train wreck.
We're not even halfway through all of the Pokemon movies. And
how many more do you think we should...
Ones.
Do you think that this should be the last? Or should we do at least one more?
What do you think?
I mean...
I'll watch the next one.
Like, I'm thinking of it like... I like doing movie podcasts with you. I could see doing movie podcasts about things other than the Pokemon movies.
The first couple movies was great because there was a nostalgia appeal to it, but nobody is nostalgic for the next movies that come out because they're not like...
This was the last one I have nostalgia for. Like,
I mean, these aren't like movies anymore.
Yeah.
These are like...
They're just cash-ins.
Mass-produced piles of like...
Yeah.
Of CG shit.
I mean, I know that some weird, interesting shit happens in some of the later movies, but, like, I don't know if it'll be worth putting up with just the onslaught of these films.
Like, I'm torn because I know that watching, like, the rest of the Pokemon movies will not lead to me becoming a more cultured consumer of anime.
Right.
You know, I could be watching, like, things that would make me a cultured
as we were watching this movie, like, about 30 minutes in, I knew what our, like, opinions were entirely. I was like, okay, this is a terrible movie. It's not going to pick up. It's going to be like this, and they're all going to be like this.
Yeah.
So, like, and this is 2 hours. 2 hours that we can't reclaim.
I mean, like...
And I was thinking, what if we had watched, like, like, even whether it's good or not, an interesting movie in this time, you know? Like, because we already know the answer for all the Pokemon movies. It's this. It's this forever, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe this should be the end of the Pokemon journey. We just watch anime movies from now on.
I'm totally cool to watch other things.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're gonna...
I tell you what,
like,
we'll
this has transformed into, like, a show about us praising Pokemon's nostalgia and talking about, like, interesting things that a Pokemon movie did or, like, why Pokemon shorts were great. Yeah. But now this has moved on to, like, this is just
us railing on shitty movies.
This movie has to be made because there's a precedent set that they have to make a new one every single year. And they're making enough money from this movie where, like, there's justification to keep making it. But it's to sell a video game. It's to sell a video game and to appeal to kids who do not have taste yet.
Yes.
And, like, I'm not getting anything by watching these movies.
No.
So the whole nature of this show has changed.
I think if this movie had been as good as I had tricked myself into thinking that it was going to be, then this would be worth continuing because there'd be a question of, like, oh, which ones are good, which ones are bad. But, like, having 2 movies in a row that were, like, I'm hitting the fucking eject button, mashing quit, mashing skip cutscene through the whole movie, like, yeah.
How long is the next movie?
Longer than my whole life, I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure it's longer than, like, how long God's existed for. Like, it's older than the Bible. It's probably longer than the Roman Empire and the Ottoman, every empire.
Yeah.
Name the longest empire.
The longest empire? Yeah. Probably the Ottoman Empire.
Okay, it's longer than the Ottoman Empire's reign.
That's Lucario.
Hour and 40 minutes.
That's not the right one.
Yeah, it is. That's the next one.
No, it's not. It's this one, right?
Which one? What did you just click on?
This is the next one, right? The one with Manaphy in it. That was like the.
No, the next one's the Lucario one. The Manaphy one's after that.
That's not a movie, is it? This one,
Yeah, it was listed on the site when it was
The 8th movie.
Yeah, see, it says right there.
Oh God, I've seen this movie.
Yeah, this is the one with the shitty talking Lucario.
I didn't know this was like the Pokemon movie because it was on WB as like a 2-part series.
I see.
Like they aired it over 2 days, and
I remember this one being shit. Like I remember seeing parts of it and thinking it was shit.
This one is shit. I've seen this movie.
The one after that.
Why is Eureka 7 a recommendation from this movie on now?
I'm gonna read this recommendation right now.
Who did this?
Okay. Oh shit! It didn't show the reasoning.
No, baby, you gotta.
How do you make it show the reasoning?
You probably gotta go into desktop because the fucking.
You gotta.
The mobile.
This is no longer a Pokemon podcast, by the way. This is now.
This is just us, like.
This is now.
This has devolved.
Why is the shitty Pokemon movie also recommended to Eureka 7 fans?
I don't know if that's gonna.
It says Eureka 7 and the Lucario movie have a few things in common: characters who redefine humanity, glorious angst and guilt, failures at communication, and perhaps most obviously, the theme of humanity's innate conflict with nature. They also feature bumbling young male protagonists, though Ash is much cooler and more able than Red did to start with.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. This movie is an hour and 40 minutes. I have this movie. We do not have to search for a fucking, I have this movie.
What, do you want to watch it? Like, do you want to keep doing this?
Oh, I have the movie. I think we have to watch it if I own it.
Oh, well.
I think we have to do it.
You know, we're just going to leave it up in the air. Audience, you'll find out if we do. You'll find out next week if we decided to watch Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, the one with the shitty talking Lucario that made me hate Lucario forever.
I didn't realize that was a Pokemon movie. I thought that was like just a TV special.
Oh, boy.
That's upsetting. If we don't continue this, will we have something else to replace this?
Yes, if we don't continue doing Pokemon, we'll just start talking about movies like we did with Koe no Katachi, because that was great. And we watch enough movies, so why not, you know?
Yeah.
All
right.
Miguel out.
Miguel out. Do, 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 suck my balls.